Thank you for joining part 6 of the Seven Mountain Prophecy, Unveiling the Coming Elijah Revolution by Johnny Enlow. If you did not catch the first 5 parts of this book series, I would definitely suggest that you watch those before you watch this one so you can gain an understanding of the foundation of the Seven Mountain Prophecy. So, in part 6 of this series, we're going to talk about the Hittites in the Mountain of Media. And this particular media, the enemy has a major influence on this mountain, and so we're going to talk about some details in regards to that. So, what is the media? Now, according to this book, it refers to the news outlets that report and establish news. And so, if the enemy controls this mountain, then it means that he can actually have the power to create the news as well as the perspective on it. Now, media outlets consist of TV stations and networks, websites, radio stations, magazines, and newspapers. And the media has the ability to turn a story that does not have much significance and make it a bigger story than what it actually is if there's a game involved in it for them. Now, in contrast, if a story that should be very significant and it is actually considered to be a big deal, it could be washed up. It may not be reported at all and become a non factor or hidden. So, for most people, if a story is not reported on the media, then they're not aware of it. And if someone who does not rely on the information from the media states the facts about a story based off of extensive research, most people will not believe it or believe that particular person because it simply was not on the news, which I know that can be frustrating for people who do seek the truth and do the research and have the knowledge versus those who do follow the world and the media. So you may be asking who rules the media. Well, there is a bloodline called the Hittites that rules the media, and the word Hittite comes from the name Heth, which means fear or terror. These are considered to be spirits that are operating the media by taking advantage of using fear and terror to their advantage to further push a specific agenda that may advance Satan's kingdom. So, using fear can have the ability to create false narratives and may cause others to make decisions out of ungodly fears versus logic. So, pumping fear into the media causes bad news, and when people are in a fearful state, they are easier to take advantage of. Fear also has negative impacts to our health, where it can weaken our immune system and heart, which can make us more susceptible to illness. So, it's really important to understand and go into a deep dive about the dangers of fear because they are very aware of, fear, these particular spirits. And so they do use fear because they know a lot of people may not know on a higher level actually what it does to you spiritually, physically, and mentally. And so it's really important to really get a really strong understanding of fear and how it can impact you. And, really, if, what it comes down to is just really being able to control your thoughts and finding a way to, find thoughts that are in opposition of, basically the fearful state you may be in. There's so many different ways that you can definitely find ways to control your thought and to create positive thoughts so you're not constantly focusing on something that you're worried about or you're in a constant state of fear. So there are so many different techniques on how to do that, and I'll put some information in the description on different things that you can use as far as tools to help you learn about controlling your thoughts, and that can help you deal with fear in a positive way, as well as other tools that you can use. So I'll definitely leave that in the description, but definitely overall it's just really about being able to use the word of God or put on the armor of God to definitely help combat any fearful to combat your fearful state of mind if you find yourself in one. Now, Satan can also use stories to distract others from the truth, and it could be a huge story that people should be aware of. And if there is no benefit to Satan, he could disguise that story by using irrelevant, distracting stories to redirect people from the obvious truth. Another thing that's used to redirect others from the truth, for example, is if there's someone who is speaking the truth and it's going against Satan's agenda. So what he'll do instead is he'll twist the truth. Oh, Overall, doing your own research and using your discernment is key, and you have to pay attention to everything that is going on, not with just your physical eyes, but your spiritual eyes. So, who is the king of the Hittites? Well, it is believed that Apollyon is the ruling spirit of the Hittites, and Apollyon means destroyer or destruction, which is accurate on how damaging the media can be. And this spirit is known to twist stories with a misinterpretation of the truth, and the liberal agenda is pushed as the solution, which are considered to be pawns for this agenda. So, in this book, liberal is referred to as American liberalism that seeks to be free from God ordained ethics and values as revealed in the Bible. So, in other words, these are those that are considered to be worldly and denotes God's relevance. God is considered to be in the picture, but not at the center. Now, conservatism, on the other hand, is not necessarily any better in most cases. So, liberalism, when you understand what that is, that puts humanity at the center. And if God exists for some people, he orbits around humanity, which is considered to be out of order. So the ultimate idea that we need to get into is that the Most High God is at the center of the universe, and we should orbit around him. So the next thing we're going to talk about in part 7, we're going to talk about the important role of evangelists. So stay tuned.